Hi, my name is Dr. Christina Romcook, and I'm coming to you live today from Nashville, Tennessee, from one of my offices. And I am the chairman of the board for the International Seed Nutrition Society. And today I am excited to talk to you guys about weight loss and seed science. So I want to start by really talking about the human body and the science of the human body. Give me 1 second. I'm going to do something real quick before I get into the discussion with you guys. I had to close my door and put a do not disturb so I could make sure that I could try to get through this. I know it's January and it's kind of funny. We're almost through January. I love the month of December. It's probably one of my favorite months from October through December. I love the fall and I love the winter. Spring and summer have their own exciting things that you go through as well. But I really love that time because I think I get to spend time with family. I get to see my kids, my college kids, my older two sons, Duquesne and Preston, come home from college. My younger two kids get out of school and we can go skiing and we can eat a lot of food and just really enjoy, time together. And I think I get to see my parents and my amazing brother and sister and nieces and nephews and brother-in-law and sister-in-law. And it's just a great time and also get to spend more time with friends. So I love that time of the year, but I do gain a little bit of weight during that time of year. I would say, to describe my quest with science, many of you guys know I was sick at a young age. I have had different types of cancer, and some of my kids have struggled with that as well. And it's kind of funny when you go through all those, or not funny. It's hard when you go through things like that. No one really wants to hear that you're sick. A lot of you guys are struggle with things like multiple sclerosis, with cardiac disease or cardiovascular problems, with fertility issues, with um, things that have to do with hormones and metabolism, a lot of different things. And so, when we see each other throughout the day, it's not the first thing you usually say. You don't say, "Hi, my name is Christina Cook and I've had cancer." In fact, a lot of people don't want to hear about our problems. They just want, them to go away, not because they don't care, but because they don't have solutions, or they don't know what to say, and they don't want to be sick either. So I think that one of the great things about the International Seed Nutrition Society is that we have this science journey, whether we're scientists or doctors or professionals or business people or even stay-at-home mothers that want to help their kids. A society is a place for all of us to work together to really increase knowledge on seed science so that we can help with nutrition, the nutrition of our human bodies and the nutrition of our air, land, and water. And to do that, we've got to be organized and come together as a group, or an organization, or a society. And so that's what we're dedicated to. But for the topic of today, we're really going to talk about weight loss and seed science, because I told you my favorite part, one of my favorite times of the year is that fall time and the Christmas time. Well, during that period, while we're enjoying family, we're not always focused on nutrition and our health because we want to eat whatever we can do. So, or what we want to eat. So today I really want to talk to you about really lifestyle changes that can be incorporated even into the Christmas season, that will help you just with overall weight loss, weight control, and just metabolism and hormone health. So I want to talk a little bit about the science of that. Having a couple of doctorate degrees and having a postdoc in nanobiotechnology and bioscience engineering, I really am an expert and a specialist in how to formulate things that improve and help the body and the environment. Not, we're all experts in something, and this was just the area that I chose to be an expert in. And I really think it's because of my family and my own body. I think it drove me to be passionate about these subjects and to stay in school, and try to go to some of the best schools so that I could help people. So I want to just share a little bit of the knowledge that I have, and I hope that I don't get too much in depth, but I think it's important as we do this journey together for us to understand it. The hippocampus of the brain and the thalamus and everything that goes on here, it's like a computer. It actually communicates. So I don't know if you guys know this, but when you gain weight, it actually communicates with the fat cells, and the fat cells start really malfunctioning. You're born and you have a certain number of fat cells in your body. What a lot of people don't realize is they can expand and they can start malfunctioning. And when you eat the wrong food, that's what happens. The brain actually signals to those cells, and they are start producing things that cause obesity. And if you really want to know, the nerves in your brain actually have a direct line, and when this happens, it can cause a lot of malfunctioning. And that's why, as people try to lose weight, um, they sometimes don't understand, because they can, you know, basically lose weight, and then 80% of those people, once they've lost considerable weight, within a 2-year period will actually gain all of it back, or even gain more weight back, and they don't understand why. And it's because once you damage kind of that signaling, it becomes a cycle. And I kind of explain this to people like the cycle of abuse. You know, my first PhD was in psychology, neurology, and I really studied a lot of that. And in the cycle of abuse, there's a lot of factors that go on. So when you think of what's going on in your body when it comes to fat, you need to realize, like, this body, and I say this a lot, it's the only house, the only body that you get to live in. You get to take it wherever you go. You are in control of this. And so the great thing about this cycle that happens in your body is you're in control and you can stop it. And I want to explain to you today how you can do that. I want to explain to you how the hippocampus in the brain and the hypothalamus in the brain actually communicates with the fat cells and with the nerves, and then they start expanding or not working right, and they hold on to fat. And so when they had a lot of the studies from UCLA that really looked into all of this, they came out with a review of 30 studies that showed that 80% of these people that lost weight actually gained more weight after a period of 2 years. And they wanted to start understanding why. And they really looked at it. It was the brain and the fat cells problem. They were holding on to these toxins. And I study a lot about hormone health. What happens when that occurs is really there's a breakdown. You know, the body starts holding on to the fat, and it begins a cycle where even when you lose weight, there's different hormones that are produced that actually make you even hungrier. So while you might lose 10% of your weight, body fat weight, you actually, the body starts thinking it's starving. It produces a hormone that makes you hold on to the fat even more, and you feel exhausted and famished. You're in fatigue and famished stage because your hormones are just not communicating right. And I want you guys to think about that like a situation that's unhealthy in your life. Think of a situation that you've gotten into, a rut you've gotten into that you know is unhealthy. Maybe it's an unhealthy friendship or relationship, or something that's occurring in your home with your children. Like sometimes I get in this unhealthy habit of yelling at my kids, and it's not healthy. I need to calmly explain to them. I need to encourage them. I need to hug them. But sometimes I'm tired and I get into this routine, and it's not good to complain, right? So I have to change that cycle. It's the same thing with your body, and that takes time. Think about this. If your body has gotten used to eating foods that are not healthy and that have a lot of preservatives, have a lot of sugar, have a lot of carbs, then those fat cells, the brain and the fat cells, are communicating to store this fat. And even when you start losing it and you try to be healthy, the body rejects it and says, whoa, I'm not comfortable with this anymore. I don't feel healthy doing this. Let me revert back to the Snickers bar. And that's not good. So I want to explain to you how seed science can really help with that. What's really important when they've looked at studies, one of the favorite things that I like that I've reviewed, I'm going to pull it because I want to read it to you guys really quick. It was Brown University National Weight Control Registry. I love registries. Many of you guys know I'm a research scientist, so I've done a lot of registries with IRBs and FDAs and countries to really look at different areas of healthcare. And in that particular registry, there was 10,000 patients, and they took people that had lost 30 pounds or more, And they looked at those people over a year, and they had to keep that 30 pounds off a year. Most of them kept it off for 5 years. And this is very significant. We know from UCLA and the review of 30 studies that 80% of people that lose weight like that actually gain it back or more within a year to 2 year period. So to do a study, to be included in the study at Brown, you had to actually be able to lose 30 pounds and keep it off. And then they looked at what the secret was to those people. And again, most of those people kept that weight off for 5 years. So what they found with those people were certain things that they were doing that really reversed the cycle. So the hypothalamus and the fat cells were in this bad relationship. They were holding on to fat, not releasing it. And when they actually lost weight, it rejected the weight loss and made the body think it was even hungrier. It's just a horrible cycle. With these people, they were actually able to change that. That's the great news. So what did they do? One of the things that they did that they noticed with these people is that they were morning people. Most of them ate breakfast. 98% of those people were able to actually keep that weight off. And 98% of those people did it by actually changing the amount of food they ate and when they ate that food. Now, when you looked into their diets, they were high protein diets, and they had a lot of fruit and vegetables, a lot of vegetables. And some of those were even starchy vegetables. And then a lot of those people had no more than 2 servings of carbs during the day. And so that was significant, they found during the study. And a lot of the people in that study ate the carbs last. So they'd eat 30% of their food, a lot of them was protein at least. The rest was vegetable, and then a small percent were carbs. But again, they ended the food because they realized through the study and through the review, the people that would eat like carbs and orange juice, which is a sugar, last, actually their body was communicating to release the right hormones, so the body kept the metabolism, even at a resting rate when they were sitting there, higher based on what they were eating. And so I think that's really important. You know, one of the things I say to people about science is all the science that I work on and the things I do, it really doesn't mean anything unless I can communicate that to people and we can all help each other. So I think that when you think about your day and what you're eating, just to show you how we can all make these changes together, we can start eating just a little bit less each day. We first of all, let me go back. We can get up early because, again, I was shocked about this outcome of the study. Most of those people were morning people, and they got up in the morning and then they made sure that they ate breakfast, but they ate a healthy breakfast. They didn't sit there and eat croissants. They ate on a typical basis, again, protein, vegetables, and fruit, and then a little bit of carbs. And they found that this was significant. And then 97% of those people also increased exercise. But they did find that the people that made that first step with eating in the morning and eating less were actually able to really increase the metabolism even when they were sitting still. And then if they exercised, they were able to do it more. And they found that when they lost that 30 pounds and kept doing this routine, they really were able to keep that weight off. They did notice in the study that those people would have down days, or basically cheat days, where some days they didn't get up early, they didn't eat breakfast, or they ate whatever they wanted. But over a 5-day period, they kept to this lifestyle change. Lots of fruits and vegetables. And when they looked into it, they also noticed those people were also making a lot of changes. They were not sitting and watching TV all day. They limited TV time, and they did care about what they looked like, but the looks was not the most important thing. The most important thing to those people was their overall health. Do you guys know that over 70 diseases come from people having too much fat in their body, and their fat cells holding on to toxins and different things and then not being able to process it right? And so heart disease, different types of cancer, different kinds of autoimmune diseases, they found were related to fat and to being obese. And this was another study that UCLA and Brown looked into, as well as 30 other researchers. They really looked into why is this being affected. I want to try to find one of the studies so I can read it to you. The study out of Harvard, which you guys know that my postdoc is from Harvard, under the Harvard Medical Publishing group that looked at it, and they actually have a book that talks about this, which goes into the different types of diseases that are caused from issues with weight, looks at type 2 diabetes, looks at fertility, looks at autoimmune diseases and different types of cancer. I don't think that a lot of people, when they sit there and they think about being overweight, I don't think they think about those things. I know for me personally, I do, because I have had Lyme's disease, I've had cancer, I've had lots of different things in my life. So for me, looking okay and feeling okay, if you ask me what my choice was, I want to feel okay, because I know at the end of the day, if I look great, but I die and I'm not here to take care of my kids, why does it matter? And that was another thing. I want to go back to that registry that I talked about. What did they find in the registry? They found that the people really understood that it wasn't just about looks, the ones that kept the weight off. It was about health and wellness for their lives. And what they saw, that they really cared about their lives because they wanted to be there for their family. And so if you really review the details of that study, another thing that people did, because they had to make sure that they did protein, a lot of people would do protein shakes. A lot of people ask me what I do. Because I'm into seed nutrition, because I understand that the seed is something that holds the vitamins and minerals that we need. I do a lot of seeds and a lot of oils, and I work for, I do consulting and work for a company that actually I get to make amazing products. And I use a formula that consists of pea protein and chia and pumpkin, and it's a product called Form. I use that because I want to replace the protein, if I don't have time to eat the protein, with seed-based protein. So for me, that's what I choose. There's a lot of different things out there. That's the one that I really like. And then my mind always does go, of course, to what are the seeds and the oils from the seeds that help us lose weight. There's a lot of them, you guys. But flaxseed is very important. There's lots of studies that show flaxseed and how it helps with insulin levels. Insulin is one of the problems, you all, because that's why we have the diabetes, the fat cells. The hypothalamus is not communicating. The fat cells hold on. They excrete the insulin, and then you got all these problems, and the body is holding on even more to this bad relationship with fat and with the bad, the wrong kinds of foods. But flaxseed is really something that can help with that. There's lots of studies that show that. There's also lots of studies that show black cumin seed. I take a lot of black cumin seed products because I think it's very important. There's numerous studies in this country and other countries that show the impact that it has when you take the black cumin seed oil. And I got to work on a product called Red Soul, where we used that, and we also used the next seed that I really love, which is red raspberry seed, because that submits and produces these ketones. And there's research now that shows ketones helps with insulin levels, helps with diabetes, can help with cardiovascular. So for me, it's a double whammy. I always love using seed-based products that I know will help me, not just with one thing, but for two. And my, passion in life is overall wellness. And so for me, I'm continuously on this detox supplement process so that I can be here for my children and my grandchildren and have the best life possible. So those are ingredients that I really lean on. Another thing that I lean on is turmeric and curcumin. It's something that I cook with. I cook with coconut oil and MCT oil as well. And really, if you look at the seeds of those that I just mentioned, with the black cumin seed, the pea protein seed, chia is another one that I love. Pumpkin is another one that's really great if you're on this wellness weight loss mission. The turmeric and the lemon is another one that I use in my water. And the red raspberry, there's just so many seeds out there that are really impacting you. And so when I look at this 10,000 person registry, which is all around weight, where you have these people that kept 30 pounds off or more. And I know that these other studies are showing that 80% of the people that are on these fad diets and these pills that they take, it doesn't work. I understand, of course, that it's overall wellness and health that will change your body. So that's what people have to be on a mission to do. They have to do the overall health and wellness. They cannot look for the quick fix. If they want to do the quick fix, they have to make sure when they're doing it, they're supplementing their body with the right amount of protein, with the right amount of seed-based products that will really put the vitamins and minerals in the body to get the brain to work right, to communicate to the fat cells, and to get those fat cells to shrink. Like I said, they can expand, and that is a nightmare. That's why we have cellulite. And if you guys ask me if I have cellulite, I'm not going to answer that question because I'm human and I'm not perfect. And you know, it's a kind of a joke. Sometimes I say to my close friends, I just don't want to, I shouldn't eat this, but I'm going to try this. So there's days I cheat. I do feel like overall, I'm definitely not just someone that talks about being on a seed-based diet and trying to follow the right ingredients on a typical day. I do put what's right into my body because of the cancer, because I want to detox my body and supplement my body with the right things. And I think that's what's so great about the International Seed Nutrition Society. A lot of people ask me, could I be a member? I'm like, yes, because this is a society that's really here to impact overall wellness and health. And that doesn't get done by just doctors. That gets handled by people that are really passionate about life and trying to make the difference. I have a great friend named Temple Swift, who's in Canada, and she's just an amazing person. And she's been sick with bronchitis and hasn't felt great. And we were going over different ingredients to help. And sometimes that takes time. You know, the body is, again, this city, this house, this town, and you are so privileged to get to maintain that in a life when we have a lot of, or a lack of ability of control. You have control over your own body. So you get to make those healthy decisions. And decisions are spiritual, mental, you know, clinical, they're mind, body, and soul decisions. But when it comes to food, you guys, the mission that we're on to really take seed-based products or to implement them into our lifestyle so that we can help ourselves with wellness and prevention, no one can take that away from us. I always tell people, I've worked on pharmaceutical and biotech products, and we use seeds in those products. We use plants. When we do stem cell research, we use different things where we use different types of vegetables and fruits and seeds and oils. And then nutraceutically, when I work on formulas, which I love doing, I get to do the same thing. And it's just an exciting venture all the way around to be able to do that. But I think what is the most exciting is being able to communicate with people like you all, where we get to do this together. I learn more from the people that are in the society and other organizations than almost learn at Harvard, because we are all here really on a mission to make some changes that are positive. So I think it has to start with ourselves. So I want to challenge you guys to get up early, watch less TV, and to eat the right foods and in the right order. You know, eat the proteins, either start with your vegetables and seed-based products and then go to the proteins, or vice versa. If you want to have carbs, which there is not a problem with carbs, you just don't want to eat too many and you want to eat the right carbs, then you want to go to that, eating that last, so that you are telling your body, listen, I'm outsmarting you. I'm going to tell you what to do because I'm going to start taking control. And then just make sure you don't eat huge amounts. But remember, when you're eating these seed-based products, you're getting the vitamins and minerals you use. You can buy some at the store or join different organizations where you can use those. And you know, there's not a day that goes by. I told you some of the products that I use. And every day I eat avocados, I eat lemons, drink lots of water. So you just incorporate those things into your life along with the seeds. And then again, make sure you're detoxing and taking care of your bodies while you do it. And make sure you take care of your families and your mental and spiritual you know, health as well. Make sure that you're surrounding yourself with good things outside of your body and inside of your body. So thanks for tuning in today. I think the Seed Nutrition Society is a different type of society. We are here to really make changes to how people understand seed nutrition, not just for ourselves, but also in the environment. We will end up having a Facebook Live where we really talk about the environment as well. and how seed-based nutrition helps the environment. And I know that seems odd to say, but it's really true. And lastly, just please understand that obesity really is a real disease. It has psychological consequences. It impacts people, and we need to work together to really get rid of that in our own lives, our children's lives, and everyone else's lives. And instead of judging people, which is not helpful, and no one has a right to judge anyway, let's just do this together and in a positive way and help a lot of people. Thanks so much. I hope you guys have a great Monday. And I am getting ready to do, I think, a call in about 30 minutes with Ryan. But for ISNS, we work with lots of different organizations. We encourage people to reach out to us to do studies and surveys so that we can really serve people, countries, governments, and the medical and healthcare community with what we're learning about seed-based nutrition.